All right. So I want to talk about the logo change for Cracker Barrel. So, I went to the company website, right? I'm sure some of you noticed I do have an MBA, Master's of Business Administration, and I really have a thing for marketing, labels, branding, and that kind of stuff too. That's one of the things I really enjoyed about going to school for business. So, I was really interested in what's going on with Cracker Barrel, and I seen a few posts on LinkedIn, and I said, you know what, yeah, let me take a look at it. So I went on the company website. Of course, we see articles and jokes and things like that online. Um, but I know, if you can start with the company's website and go down to the little tiny parts in the corner that most people probably don't notice, where you can see like investor relations and down in that area. Because I wanted to see what the company had to say. And I wanted to see who was running it just to get an idea, right? So I did just some quick research, and I'm not going to go all too deep into it. But apparently, they have a new senior vice president of, she's the chief marketing officer, Sarah Moore, who joined that team, the Cracker Barrel team, in July of 2024. Right? So I looked her up. She has a bachelor's degree. She's married to an entrepreneur. I think she served some time in the military, a colonel, I believe, and that she's responsible for culinary innovation, menu strategy, advertisement, digital media, loyalty, creative development, marketing communications, guest relations, things like that. And it says that she has nearly 20 years of hospitality experience, and she possesses deep expertise in developing and growing digital marketing initiatives, customer loyalty programs. So she has background like working with like MGM and resorts and things like that. That's what her background is. And what happened is this month, August 18th, 2025, there was a new creative campaign launched. 55 to celebrate 55 years of country hospitality. Um, According to the company's website, this is the fifth evolution of the brand's logo. And it's really to emphasize like the barrel shape and um, right here, pretty much the barrel shape and things like that. Um, when I looked around, so I checked like Wall Street Journal and things like that, and they say that they were trying to bring in a new customers. I also saw that their stock fell a bit, which, I mean, who knows if that's permanent or not. I learned that the stock market is pretty, is a lot of emotion tied to that a lot of times too. I haven't looked that deep to go into depth about that, but I know that their stock did drop a bit. And it's interesting, right? So if you know, I've only had Cracker Barrel like once in my life, and as a little girl, I used to travel down south a lot as a kid because my parents were from the south, so I used to visit several times a year, and I knew I was down south when you saw the Cracker Barrel logo. And even though we didn't really eat there, I didn't really eat there till I was an adult, once or twice, but in one up in New York State. And I believe they have them in Connecticut and things like that too, near campsites and all of that. And the food was good. I appreciate it. I appreciate Southern cooking very much. Um, they have a section on their website, right? The Cracker Barrel Company. They have a section on their website about like belonging and all of that. And when I went to read a little more about it quickly with the Wall Street Journal, and I see a different, like Kevin on stage was hilarious. He had a joke about it. Like, so this is definitely trending and buzzing, a lot of buzz about this. Um, some of their conservative customers are very upset, and there they go throwing in the word woke. What's interesting to me is stepping back from that part of the conversation. It seems like um, even with the different reactions it pulls, it seems like on the whole, from what I'm gathering from social media, um, it seems like kind of a bipartisan thing here, which is funny, where um, it seems like people in general, from what I'm seeing online, would like to not have the logo changed the way it was. So I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure if Cracker Barrel is a place that younger people would even want to go to. I'm not sure. I would imagine, I hope that the company actually did some research on that, because obviously there's market research and focus groups, all kinds of ways to learn that. I would imagine they've done that. I have not looked that deeply. Um, it's people who get paid to do those jobs and do them well and effectively. But it's so interesting because regardless of the reason, which I don't want to push to the side, but for the sake of this conversation, it's definitely creating a lot of different responses, which don't seem to be very positive. Um, I think number one is just the logo, right? That was there before with what is his name? Herschel. That's his name. I don't want to go back into my phone. But that's the family, the Uncle Herschel. Hold on. I'm gonna go into my phone. Right? I believe that is Uncle Herschel is the real life uncle of Cracker Barrel founder Dan Evans, or I think that's how we say Evins. So I don't know. It's just interesting. The reactions is triggering, but it is unfortunate if people want to bring in this woke like that's a whole nother video on topic. People bringing in this woke thing. I don't see that. Companies, especially now, you do see restaurants changing their logos, and that's something also I really take interest in, because I love to eat, I love food, I love dining, and I love hospitality and all of that too. I'm very into that, actually. um, you see a lot of transformation, like fast casual dining, a lot of like changes. Like McDonald's used to be like a place for children, and the Ronald McDonald's, right? You see the colors change. You see it becoming more of this other type of tone to it. I was in a McDonald's yesterday, and it was an updated one, and it felt so modernized. To me, it felt cool in there. Whole nother topic. But I mean, I'm not sure, right? If you go into a Cracker Barrel, and I think I saw on the website they also renovating some of the restaurants. I'd be curious to see what those look like, and they're going to continue renovations. Just curious to see, what that looks like inside, and if they're going to lose some of that charm into it. And I think that we'll just continue to watch and see. But I have been, interested and kind of, a little disappointed about where some of the restaurants we know and love, even if we don't eat at them, but we just like know the logo and symbol, and it just makes sense, to see a lot of this. I don't know what it is. It's like the feeling is being taken out of a lot of the logos, the buildings themselves, the structure. I want to use the word dystopian. I don't know if that's going to make anybody upset, but it just feels cold. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Cracker Barrel had any other meaning behind it. If they were trying to, I don't know if they have done studies, and maybe people do find Uncle Herschel, they feel something about him there. I have not heard that before. To me, it seems like he just really does belong there on the logo, and people accept that, and that's what people know. I think one thing we do know about branding and logos and commercials and marketing, it's pulling on the heartstrings of people and the minds, and making people feel something, right? If you invoke like memory and nice feelings and fuzzy things that make people, oh yeah, that place. Oh, I love their warm biscuits. Oh, I love the rocking chairs they have. I love, the smothered pork chops, and it connects you, and it makes you, remind you of maybe your childhood, or the warm country experience, for example, right? That's something that brings people in. So I mean, they're not the only place to do stuff like this. So I think it is interesting. I personally don't love it. I mean, but we don't normally love change right away. I think that's normal. But it is also interesting to see the reactions and why some people are very upset, very fear based things. Um, um, I guess people feel like they're losing, but they have different reasons behind it. So, I mean, I would love to keep following this a little more and seeing what's going on. And maybe I'll continue to kind of talk about stuff like this too. Because I love food, I love to eat, and I love a good dining experience. And I've always been very fascinated, like I said, with marketing and labeling and all of that. Like, I really love that. And kind of the psychology behind it and the things that make it work. The colors, just all of that. I love it. So, yes, I just wanted to do something about that and talk about it and reflect on it. But I did hear a funny joke about it when on Instagram when somebody said, "What in the Canva is this?" Right, about the logo. Um, anyway, that's what I have, and if thank you for taking your time to watch it. Maybe I'll continue some content like this as well. All right, thank you, everybody. Oh, and you can like and subscribe to my channel. And what's the new thing we do? We ring the bell. Nonprofit accountability. It's just not going to be about nonprofits. I'm going to mix it up. But again, thank you. Ring the bell, stay tuned, and I appreciate you.